Hi, Happy New Year. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Liz. I'm going to talk about a few things today. First of all, I stopped doing New Year's resolutions a long time ago. And another YouTuber that I actually follow, they decided this year that they were going to do a vision board. And then subsequently, a few other YouTubers that I actually follow, they're doing a vision board as well. So I thought, well, that's a really good idea. Never done one before in this sense. I've only ever mind mapped, drawn one. So I've actually printed off a vision board. So this is my vision board for this year. So there's a few things on there. Wanting to eat a lot more healthier. This isn't a representation of me. I look far worse than that. But this is to motivate me and discipline me into doing something about my current lack of exercise, shall we say. I do a walk. I walk the dog, hence the dog's here. Well, that's not my dog neither, but that looks like my dog. But as far as that goes, and other than shopping, I don't really do anything. I get bored with exercise. I used to do body combat 3 times a week a few years ago. Really enjoyed it, and then just once I start seeing improvements to my physical shape, I then go off the boil. So this year I'm going to be motivated that I don't go off the boil, and I get how I actually want to look. I don't want to lose it too fast because I don't want to have excess skin, because surgeries and things like that terrify me. So touch wood, I don't have too much of an issue with that. Otherwise, I think that's another thing that's been a bit of a mind blocker in actually doing exercising and losing weight is because of the size I am, because of the age I am terrified of having excess skin and then being equally, well, I'm not unhappy. I'm all right as I am. This is more of a health reason. I'm not getting any younger. I want to be around for my kids. And so it's time to bite the bullet. It's a big birthday this year, and it's time to bite the bullet and reduce myself a bit weight-wise. Not quite the heaviest, but I'm getting there. The heaviest that I've always been. I've maintained sort of like this level for the past. Well, I've known my kid's dad 18 years, so 18 years plus, maybe with a bit of VAT on top. I've maintained the same weight, and so yeah, I think it's about time that we overhauled that. Want to travel more, so that ties in with the aeroplane heading off. I'm currently self-employed, so this is where I want to see, and including the money here. I wanted to see like in the increase in my funds, my business on Etsy. I want to see that flourish. The more art type products that I'm actually adding onto there. I'm wanting to see like more sales happening on the site, and also the growth. And the CEO is because I am like the CEO. I'm self-employed. It's my business and everything. The car and the, where are we here? Porsche key is a Porsche Panamera. I don't think that's quite a Porsche Panamera. I think that's a different Porsche, but I like the colouring on it. I'm wanting to upgrade my car. So this not necessarily will it be this year, but this is the car that I would really want, is a Porsche Panamera. I like my sporty looking cars. So yeah, that is on the table. Not necessarily all of these will be in this year, but this is my vision for the year. I want to be heading in all the right directions on here. So down here we have social media, all the different types. I've just set up on TikTok to be able to show videos of me doing my painting, etc., my art stuff for my Etsy shop, just to try and boost flow to my Etsy shop. I'm on Instagram. I have my business is on Instagram as well as Facebook. So this ties in with the social media. This one, I believe it is bowling. It's just a generic bowling because I want to be able to take my children out more. This really does affect what we do. I only have so much money coming in, and I have a very high rent. Not that I'm complaining, because I love this house, and if I had the money to buy this house, I would approach my landlords and say, would you consider selling to me if I had that kind of money? But I would need quite a lot. We're talking in nearly probably $500,000. Or getting up to $500,000 anyway. So yeah, it does affect. Sometimes I have to plan more to go. Before I got married to their dad, and it was just me and my eldest, we were going on foreign holidays 3 times a year, and I owned my own home. And I married their dad, and I don't have my own home anymore, and I've only been renting, and we've only gone on one holiday, which I think was back in 2018. We went to Cyprus, and they absolutely loved it, but that was the only time they've ever been abroad, not being able to afford it before that, and not being able to afford it since. So that this, I know it's just a matter of things, and there's more important things to life, and yada, 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 and I am grateful for everything that I do have. I'm grateful for good health within the family. I'm grateful for a roof over our heads. I'm grateful for having a car. I'm grateful for healthy children. There is a lot of things that I'm thankful and I'm grateful for. But I would like to have, instead of struggling and going around the supermarket with a calculator to make sure I don't spend over, I'd rather be able to go to the supermarket and just throw the shopping in without having to think of it. So yeah, there's a couple of quotes on here. The top one is, money flows into my life abundantly and effortlessly. That's an affirmation. And great things never came from comfort zones, which they don't. So doing the Etsy shop is a bit of a risk. I've outlaid money, and I've only been able to do that bit by bit by bit by bit. So this is why it's a slow process to build up the business, because I don't have money as such, capital, to put it into it. So it is something that I'm slowly doing. I have been trying to find a part-time job on top of this, but I haven't found anything that's either fits in with our family, or is suitable for what I want to do. So that's my vision board for 2023, and I've got this as a screensaver on my laptop, and I've also got it as wallpaper on my mobile phone. My dog's now going to start, as she always does when I'm doing these videos. And then, Venus, be quiet. And that was a no. So, and I've also got this to just put on the wall over there, so that when I'm sat here at my desk, I'm looking over there, I can see it as well. I also have, just let me deal with her 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. She wanted to go out. But anyways, we move on. So another thing I've done with regards to weight loss is I have a Fitbit. And from that, I get notifications each week. And I've been printing them off and keeping a logbook of them. And this helps me to see like days that I've like walked the furthest, how many steps in the week, what my best day was. So my best week of last year was week 36, where I walked 57,330 steps, which equates to 25 miles walked. The best day in the week I walked 14,547 steps, which was also within week 36. So that's a good sort of like indication to me what I need to do more. Most of my weeks I'm walking, I mean just flicking through, I'm walking between 37,000 upwards, which 37 isn't all that great. But if I don't go out much in the week, hence why I'm trying to build it up. Having a picture of, well, it's not my dog, as I said, but having a picture of my husky on there, it's to walk further with her. I mean, she is getting on now. She's 9. She'll be 10 this year. So, but she still, you know, likes to go for a good walk, etc. So walking her, you know, more regularly, because some days she doesn't get to go very far, if it's weather related, because she hates the rain. She likes it when it's cold though. Like I walked her this morning and it's absolutely freezing, and she loved it. She absolutely loved it. Another thing is I have one of those weighing scales where you stand on it and it gives all your body mass, how much fat is in your body, how much muscle is in your body, your efficiency with your basal metabolic rate. So strangely enough, my metabolic rate and my metabolic age are exactly what they should be for my age, basically. My issue is basically the fat within my body. I have a hell of a lot of that according to these scales. So there's certain things I've looked up and I've Googled, well, what can I do to reduce that? Because mine is the, let me get it right, is the visceral fat is what I really need to reduce. And that's the fat that goes into all your cavities and around your, what's the word I'm looking for? Your organs. So yeah, so I know what I need to do. I just need to be disciplined and get on with it, basically. Another thing that I've started for this year, which is another thing going against what I don't save. I can't save. Couldn't save if Elle had me. So this year I'm more disciplined also to get finances in order to actually save and save where I'm not touching it. Normally if I try to save, I end up dipping into it because something will come up and I'll think, oh well, I've got that there. And I'm trying to be more disciplined with myself that that's there but you still can't touch it. So I got one of these for my eldest daughter. You'll have seen it in a previous vlog for Christmas stockings that I've done. And she was absolutely thrilled. And I put money in it as well. And hers is slightly different to what I've put in mine. But I put money in certain pockets of hers. And I actually put a label on the front saying, oh, the camera's going upwards. A label in the front saying, look at me, don't throw me out, because I know my eldest should have seen that and thought, what the hell do I want that for? Just binned it, given it to a charity shop, and some lucky beggar would have got the money that was inside it. So I had to put this note to make sure that she actually looked in it. So mine, I've not got anything in it yet because I ain't gone to bank. But mine, I've got Beauty Fund, Clothes Fund, and this goes for across me and my children, because I've got 2 daughters that are still at home as well, so they'll come under. They like to get some, not makeup, but they get like face washes and stuff like that they like. Clothes, so that's Clothes Fund for all of us. Fuel Fund for the car, obviously. But actually no, that could actually come under fuel, because where I live it's oil, central heating. and not gas. And so that could come under, I could put money away for when I need to get oil. Holiday fund, so hopefully, put it a bit higher. Holiday fund, so hopefully save for holiday. Household fund, so household, I mean by cleaning products, and anything to do with the house, basically. Food shopping, that kind of thing. Socialising fund, that isn't socialising me going to the pub and getting absolutely off my face. I don't do things like that. But it's a socialising in, as in the sense of me taking the kids out, say bowling, to the cinema, doing something with the children, going for a meal, because we do like to go for a meal. There's a nice Korean place in York we like to go to. And veterinary fund, touch wood, Venus has never, well, we've got Tigger the cat now, but Venus has never needed to go to the vet, other than when we first got her to be checked over. But that's going to be a just in case, because vets can be costly. Another thing that I've seen, Martin Lewis backs this, and this is the 1p challenge. You can find these on to print off online. Just Google 1p challenge and then go into images. You'll see a lot. There's a lot of different ones. This one, for example, just shows you the amounts, and doesn't actually show you how much. I need to update the one behind. So this one, which is called Skint Dad's 1p challenge, this one actually shows you the amount. So you put in day one your penny, so it shows you got your penny. So then by the time you're down here, it's then showing how much money should be in the kitty, so to speak. Now, instead of just doing one of these, I wanted to do 4, because I've got 4 children. And my method to my madness was, 2 of my children have birthdays before Christmas, and December in January is a very expensive time of year, because I have 2 children that are just a week or so before Christmas, and then I have another one that's in January, and then we've got Christmas in between. So it is a very skint period of time. So I thought if I did 4, this would be their birthday and Christmas money, basically, and anything else we needed at Christmas, because we never have any money at Christmas. But at the moment, I'm just doing 2. So this was a box of, well, it was a tin of shortbread that my mum was given for Christmas, but it's also a money box. Well, can be used as a money box, I should say. So she's given it to the kids, and so I've taped it up so nobody can go in it. Well, they could break the seal, but I would know. I've taped it up, and I've put on it that it's the 1p challenge, and I backdated this. So I started mine the 21st of December, and so I'll do it till the 20th of December this year. That will be a full year. That will give me in there a saving of £665.95. Now, you don't have to stick to the actual days. You can do more or less. I've obviously, because this is more than what we're currently on at the minute, I've done up to, where are we? I forgot 28p. I've done up to day 28, but then I've also done day 50 and day 100 because I had that extra. So it's as and when I have change. I then converted my other money box to do the same and relabeled this. So this is identical to that one. So when I'm putting in for one, I'm putting in exactly the same amount for the other. So at the moment, I'm just running 2. But I thought that was a really good idea, because I did have, that's why I've done extra. I did have bags of change in my drawer that I was saving up to go to the bank and convert it. So of 2s and 1s and 5p's. So I thought, well, I might as well start that challenge. And they're sealed up, so you can't get into them. And so hopefully, well, I will. I don't know why I'm saying hopefully, because I'm not going to touch them. But by the end of this year, I'll have like £1,300. If I can afford to do the other two, I'll catch up somewhere in the year and do the other two. But at the moment, £1,300 in December, it will be a good set of money for the kids' presents for Christmas. I mean, I don't go mad at Christmas anyway. I just treat Christmas like a normal shopping day. I'm not one of these that has the trolley where it's completely overflowing with food and everything. I just don't do that. I don't buy into any of that. I think Christmas is become very commercialised, and people seem to lose the whole what Christmas is about. Like my children, they don't get as much money as they used to do. And me and their dad are divorced, so they have the dad's quite well off, so they have him that he just buys them whatever they want, and things that I probably, well, I wouldn't even dream of buying. Like for example, one of my daughters, she got a pair of, I think they're Air Nikes. I can't remember. I don't know brands. I buy my trainers from Primark. But anyway, she wanted them. Well, they're like 100 and odd quid for a pair of trainers, which I just find is absolutely ridiculous. But he has the money to do these things, and so he can. Whereas I keep them grounded in to some extent that everything's just the same. Going on a tangent as usual. So there's going to be I'm going to be doing some different videos. I'm going to video my weight loss, my exercise, I should say. Weight loss should come into it, but my body change, shall we say. I'm going to video that and upload the videos, because that will also keep me disciplined and motivated that I'm showing you these videos, and hopefully you can see, oh yes, it's working what she's doing. I think that's the plan anyway. I've got another few I always get itchy nose when I'm talking. I don't know why. Yeah. I'm also going to do a couple of other... I've seen a YouTube video today where she's saving for different things. And I was like, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. So I might do that. I might actually set up a separate cash... What is it? Cash saving flowing thingy, whatever they call it. Cash... I don't know what they call it. But I might set up a separate one for my children. For things like hobbies and stuff like that, because my daughter was learning Korean, and that was costing me about 15 quid a week, which in the grand scheme of things, you probably think it's just 15 quid, but 15 quid to me is feeding my kids for a couple of days. So it got to the point that I just couldn't afford it. So, and then she wanted to do badminton, so that was a tenner. And then she said to me just recently, well, after New Year, oh, we haven't been to badminton for a long time. It's been Christmas. And so, yeah, if I set up another one of them, I'm just waffling now. If I set up another one of them for their hobbies and for things that they like, their birthdays and their Christmas presents, even that would be a good idea, with them being the four of them and have their individual names. I always make them the same. Even my eldest, who's 25, I still make her the same as the youngest, that's 13. So and she's working and has more money than me. So yeah, but she's still my child, so it doesn't matter. And so that's another idea. Another thing to just put a point on. I've just turned down my boiler. I've seen it all over where it says turn your boiler down, and it will save you X amount of money. So I've just, when I've gone in, I mean, I've never touched the boiler since I moved in here. So when I've gone in and I took the thing, it was on the highest it could possibly be. And I was like, whoa, no, 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 no. We'll turning that down. So I've turned that down. I am a stickler for keeping the doors upstairs are always shut. The living room door is now shut. The only doors that are open is actually the kitchen and my office. Because I shut everything up to keep the rooms warm, basically. So yeah. Other money saving tips. Well, let's see. Money saving tips. We shower. We never have baths. We shower. We're a shower family. We don't run the tap when we're like brushing our teeth. We just run it, clean your brush kind of thing. Put your toothpaste on, run it underneath it, because I like to run it underneath just to wet the toothpaste. I don't know why. I just prefer it like that. And then I switch it off and then brush my teeth. And we're the same as that, so there's no water wastage as such. I've got water butts outside. Not that I'm doing gardening, obviously, in this weather. But we have water butts outside for the garden, so, rainwater's saved as such. There's a pond in the back, and I think it's done via the water supply, like the water supply something or other. I don't know because it's not my house, but I think that's done off the drainage as well. Looking at that, so everything sort of like the water gets recycled outside as such for the pond and for the flowers and everything. So that's a good thing to do for the start of when you're going to do gardening. So the next few videos that you'll see, there's going to be exercise, a weekly exercise video that'll come out. Weekly as in, exercise video as in, it's going to be a combination of things. I'm not going to be one of these all this nose is driving me nuts. I've got stuff to exercise with, as in weights, a stepper, as in the old fashioned, like when you used to go step Reebok, that kind of stepper. What else have I got? I've got medicine ball, I've got dumbbell. I've bought, it hasn't come yet, it's coming on Saturday, a tractor tyre. Now you might think, well, what the hell does she want with a tractor tyre? Well, when I used to have a personal trainer, he had a tractor tyre, and he used to make, at the time I had a driveway that was 100 foot long, and he used to make me flip it right the way down to the bottom of the driveway and right the way back up again. So I've got a tractor tyre to flip about either on the driveway at the front or on the garden at the back. And he used to make me hit it with a sledgehammer as well. Don't have a sledgehammer, so I might have to buy one. Yeah, so I've got that coming on Saturday. I bought it off a local, presume, farm. And so the lady's delivering it, which is good. And yeah, so then another exercise would be obviously walking the dog is exercise. And so I'll cut in some walks with Venus, as well as all the other kind of exercise. Then I've got a few apps, and I've got a DVD of Body Combat. So my exercise is all going to be all different stuff. I'm going to start off gently because I haven't done any lifting weights or anything like that for ages, even though I've got all what you need to get. I like to buy things and then not use them. So yeah, so it'll just be a mixture. The other video, I'm going to be going out, and so there'll be a haul coming up. That will probably get posted. If I don't get it posted this weekend, it will definitely be this time next week. And I don't know whether to have set days of actually posting things, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe. I don't know. I sometimes life gets in the way, so I don't want to commit to actually having a set day, but I will put it out there in the week that I say I'm putting it out there. I'm going to be more disciplined in that because I think I've said before, oh, there'll be a video coming, and then there hasn't been for about 3 or 4 weeks. So it's just sometimes life gets actually in the way. I'm going to be more on it, should we say, for 2023. So when I say that there's going to be a video coming out and it's going to be this and it's going to be that, and it is, and it's going to be out in the week. So yeah, well, thank you for joining me. As I said earlier, Happy New Year to you all. I hope you all had a good Christmas and a good New Year, and you were able to see friends and family and have a really good time. And I hope 2023 is a good year for you all. I hope, happiness, positivity around you. Throw them negative vibes out the window. We don't need them. And just enjoy the year. And hopefully this year goes slower than last year, because I felt last year somebody put the foot on the accelerator. It went a bit fast for me. I just want to add, when I said at the very beginning with my, let me get it for you, with my vision board, when I said eat healthier, it's not that I don't necessarily eat unhealthy. We do eat quite healthy in this house. We always have done. My size, to give you sort of like a backstory of it, I used to, well, when I was at school, I was always referred to as the chubby kid. And I did have sort of like my face is now, basically. Anyways, growing up in my teens and everything, I wasn't that big looking back in the pictures, but it got into my mindset. People were saying, oh, that like I was a bigger girl kind of thing. And but I was quite happy at the size that I was. I was a dress size 14, 16, and I loved, well, I still do to some extent, loved the way that I was. Anyway, fast forwarded onto that, I got with my eldest daughter's biological father, and that was a really bad relationship. It was very toxic. It was abusive, and once I got out of that, I became pregnant with her accidentally, and that was my like get out card kind of thing. It couldn't go on the way that it was going on. We ended it, and I ended it. Basically, I couldn't stand it any longer. Enough was enough. I took the rose-tinted glasses off, yada, 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 yada. And so, one of the last things he said to me, though, was, nobody would ever want me ever again. And that stuck with me. And I remained on my own with my eldest for 7 years, up until she was 7. And in that time, I'd moved out of my parents. Well, I'd moved back into my parents, moved back out of my parents once my eldest was born. And then just used to sort of comfort eat. Got into bad habits, basically. Things that I never did before that I then got into. So we were living in our own property, with me and my eldest. And I would just sit and quite happily trough a 6-pack of crisps, a 2-litre bottle of Coke. And even though I walked everywhere and everything, I still did exercise to some degree, which more or less kept me levelled out. But I did put on weight. And I put 2 stone on when I was pregnant with her. I lost 1 stone when she was born, and then I just put it back on again. And then I was slowly creeping up, and I went from a 14, 16 to my size 18 to a size 20, and it was creeping up like that. That's how I was noticing it, having to buy bigger clothes. Anyway, moving on, she's like then at the age of 7. And I met my ex-husband online, and he didn't care. He didn't care what the size I was. My ex-husband's actually an African man, and he didn't care at the time, I should say. there's been one or two funny comments since, but at the time he just didn't care about my size and everything. Um, so then we went on to have three more children, and so my three younger ones are his. He took on my eldest as his own at the time. When we split, he practically dropped her. Um, but that said, I've then always maintained my weight ever since I met my ex-husband, which is over 18 years ago. And so when we were together, we ate a lot of foods. My ex-husband's Nigerian, so we had a lot of like jollof rice and pounded yam, egusi. He used to do this red stew that was absolutely gorgeous. Fried plantain, things like that. That was the kind of our lifestyle. I already ate spicy stuff prior to that. Same with now with my kids. We eat very well. We eat a very varied of like Mexican, Italian, Korean. Not so much Nigerian foods. They don't tend to like it. It's a hit and miss with them. 1 minute they want it, 1 minute they don't. But yeah, we don't sort of like have too many bad habits, I shall say. We do have sort of like a crisp night, but it's not like 6 packets of crisps like it was, you know. So we'll have treat nights. But yeah, it's so also I only have breakfast. I didn't used to eat breakfast. I used to eat lunch and just my evening meal. Now I have breakfast. I don't tend to have lunch. I'm either, I wouldn't say I'm too busy to have lunch, but I tend to don't have lunch. Very rarely I eat lunch. And then I just have my main meal when the kids are home from school. So yeah, there's no sort of like real bad eating habits to why I'm the size I am. I did this to myself years ago, and I've just maintained it for the past 18 years, the same weight. Dress size have crept up, but I've always remained the same weight, which I always found strange. So that's what I just wanted to give a backstory, because you see all these big people and people will say, "Oh yeah, they're just not there troughing all this and troughing all that." That's not the case with me. At all. In actual fact, I hardly eat. I had a personal trainer years ago, and I used to keep a diary of what I used to eat. And he said to me, "Right, something's not working. You should be losing weight with the amount of exercise we're doing." Because I had this personal trainer. I think it was twice a week he used to come, and then I used to like do stuff in between. And he says, "You should be losing it." I do the same plan with all my other clients. They're losing weight left, right, and centre. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, I had to pause the video because I got a phone call. So I'm carrying on from what I was saying. I'm now recording this the next day. So as I was saying, my personal trainer said all his clients were losing it. They were following the same thing. So he told me to eat more. He looked at my food diary and said, "You need to eat more." And I says, "I can't eat more." I said, "If I eat more, I will just put it on." He goes, "No, no, 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 you won't." Just because I was following a certain diet thing, so technically I shouldn't have been able to put more on. So he says, "Follow this." And he says, "Oh, I'll tell you, you won't put any more on. You won't put on any more." So I used to personally, before the personal trainer, I used to stick religiously to about 1,000 calories a day, purely because if I have any more than 1,000 calories, I tend to keep the weight. I hold it. It just piles on. So anyway, I went, right, okay, well, I'll try it for 1 week. And if I start putting on weight, I'm not doing it. So he goes like, yeah. So I started increasing what I was eating. And when I'm saying increasing, I'm talking about like more fruit, more vegetables. So things that you would not correlate with weight increase. It wasn't like I was eating tons of crisps, chocolate bars, biscuits, cake, that kind of thing. It was purely healthy eating choices, vegetables, fruit. And I'm aware that fruit has its own sugars and everything, but basically that's what it was. And so after a week, I'd put on £7. I was absolutely devastated because that was like an extra £7 to lose on top of what I already wanted to lose. And he was like, I just don't get this. I just don't get this. And I've been to, in the past, I've been to the doctor. I've had prescription. Tigger's now coming to say hello. I've had prescription gym. I've tried. I'm sat on my laptop. I've tried slimming tablets. I had to stop them. They just made me aggressive. They just didn't work for me. I didn't lose anything with them neither. I've tried all sorts. I've tried all those different diets. I've tried all different forms of exercise. And years ago, when I used to have my beauty room, one thing that I did find that actually did work for me was walking. I used to this particular place we lived in. I think I've talked about it in previous vlogs, but it had a scaffolding staircase purely because the staircase blew down in really bad winds. So they put up a temporary scaffolding one that was there for the entire year that we were living in the property, and subsequently afterwards as well. But that's beside the point. So we were on the 4th floor, but there were 7 flights of stairs to get there. So once I took the children to school, then I would I come back home? Would I go to work? I'm trying to think now. No, I would come back home. So once I took the children to school, I would come back home. So I'd go up the 7 flights of scaffolding stairs, go out to work, go back down. I'd then park at a certain car park and walk the rest of the way to where my beauty room was, in a gym that was within a hotel. Oh, God's sake, that was Venus. Within a hotel. This was when we were living in Manchester. And so then I would then go and pick up the kids from school, bring them up. So I'm climbing back up the scaffolding staircase. Then wait for my eldest to come back from college at the time. And then I would go back down the scaffolding staircase because I would do the beauty room split because it was a gym. Venus, no, please, thank you. Because with it being a gym, people tend to go there after work. So I would be there on a morning, over lunchtime period, go pick up the kids from school at the school evening time, but then I wouldn't return. This is because the cat is sat on my desk, by the way. Is why the dog is complaining. So, and then I would walk the distance from the car park. So within 3 months, I'd lost 3 stone. Just pure, not changing my diet in any format. I mean, nothing changed in my eating habits. It was purely down to this walking. And then we moved into a property, and it had a lift, and we were on the 2nd floor. The car was parked in the underground car park, quite close to the lift. There was all shops and amenities around that you could just walk to. That was just like literally a stone's throw. You wouldn't even be walking 100 yards. So it got to then, because we used to use the lift then, because it's convenient. And so then the weight piled on. The gym didn't renew their contract at the hotel. So I'd already handed in my notice to the gym that I would be, because I used to rent on a self-employed basis. I used to rent a room within the gym off them. So I'd already handed in my notice in there. So there wasn't the walking, is what I'm trying to get at. Moved my coffee because the cat's having a scrap. And so then I put the three stone back on. Get off my coffee, Tig. So I put the 3 stone back on. And this has been my issue. It just yo-yos between this sort of like 2-3 stone continuously for the past 18 years. Venus, don't. So anyway, going back to the personal trainer, because I'm waffling on a bit. Going back to the personal trainer, he thought that it was something within food that I'm not breaking down and I'm retaining. My body's basically retaining whatever it... Venus, stop, please. We're videoing. Shush. That doesn't help. Just bear with me. Sorry about that. I've had to shut the door because the dog just won't stop because the cat is sat on my desk. So, anyways, so there's something I have seen lately, all this hormone thing, and it could be your hormones and yada yada yada. I mean, I had blood tests, I checked for everything, and they couldn't find the cause of why I retain, my weight and the fact that it's still balanced even with exercise. So this is sort of like not a last ditch, but like a last ditch to try and then knock the camera over, to try and to lose weight and basically well, yeah, just to tone up a great deal. Yeah, Tigger, you wanted to say hello? Say hello, Tiggs. Oh, that's a bit close, Tigger. Tigger, hold on. Tigger, say hello. Okay, then maybe not. Anyways, the camera's gone wonky now. Anyways, thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope there was something in it for you to take home for your own self, whether it's inspiration or whatever on the savings, the vision board, or anything. Pause to start off. Yeah, so tell me in the comments below what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, and click the subscribe and the like button, please. That would be very good for me. Thank you, because then I can see how many people are watching and liking what I'm putting out and subscribing. I'm hoping to increase my numbers in my subscription. So to the people that have subscribed, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Take care. Bye.